What's poppin', guys? You got your coach of the Chim Chargers for our GBA quarterfinals match versus my buddy Gym Leader Gio, coach of the San Francisco GiEnteis, and I'm very excited about this match. Of course, we're playing each other for the third time now. Of course, week 2 being the match that we won versus him. Pretty solid match overall, I'd say. Second match we played each other was in week 11, which he was able to win due to Quick Claw. And the third match, which is right now, which is the playoff match, the most important game we have here this season, and hopefully we can win that right now. And I mean, he's a great friend of mine, and we've been helping each other out. He's been helping me test, I've been helping him build here and there versus certain opponents. So my man Gio made it into playoffs, so now we have to attempt to end his run, of course, and avenge my boy Joey. So let's see if we can do that in this game here. So he's bringing a team of Archeops, Mew, Blacephalon, Shaman, Mega Scizor, and Ditto, while we are bringing our squad that is of course in the building video from yesterday. So be sure to check that out if you want to know the full scoop of my team and all the thought processes and everything. Link in the description below as always. So Gio's team is very offensive. Just by a first glance, you can see his team is pretty fast-paced, pretty offensive. He didn't bring mons like Toxapex, which was like a natural sponge to certain mons on my team. He didn't also bring the Dug Trio, which is an electric immunity. So he doesn't have either of those two, which is it's looking pretty nice overall. I can see myself putting in work with mons like Trick Room, Hoopa, Unbound, which I did bring, because of the fact that his team is looking pretty fast-paced and offensive. Trick Room can really turn the tide and put in some work here, while also Tapu Koko, which is combined with Electrium Z. So I feel like that Pokemon can put in a lot of work as well. I guess like in terms of leads overall, I feel like he'd either want to lead with his Archeops, his Mew, or maybe even his Mega Scizor to get the early Mega off. Reason is because of course Mew and Archeops both are potential Stealth Rock users, while Mega Scizor would want to get off an early Mega since it'll gain a lot of bulk that way. But then again, like a lot of the times in like the early turns, I've been able to knock out Scizor and stuff with HP Fire, so he may want to keep that in the back. Who knows? But we'll find that out for sure. My potential leads, of course, I figured that my best lead was going to be Empoleon, just because I can get up Stealth Rocks easily, and if I can get that up pretty early on in the game, it's going to take a toll on his team, especially since a lot of his team does not appreciate taking chip damage from Stealth Rocks, especially if there are any Sash Mons anywhere around his team, or just in general. Like, Stealth Rocks are so nice versus him, while also keeping away rocks would be nice, especially for Mega Pinsir plus Blacephalon, or not Blacephalon, sorry, my Hoopa Unbound. Because of the fact that Hoopa Unbound has a Focus Sash, it can set up Trick Room on pretty much everything, especially if it is at full HP. So let's go ahead and take a look at this game here, and I'll show you what went down. Like I said, I decided to lead Empoleon so we can get up rocks as early as possible, and I've already had in mind a game plan of what he might want to lead with here. So let's just hop right into it and see what goes down. And let's begin this match here. My boy Gio is going to be challenging me, of course, and you never know, may or may not be his first mistake. We'll have to find out. It could be my mistake too. It could be my first mistake to challenge him again, especially after the Quick Claw. He might just come back with like 6 Quick Claws or something. So he's going to go for the U-turn turn 1. Like I said, I want to get up rocks as soon as possible, so I am just going to click rocks here. As he goes into his Mew, so I'm like, okay, maybe he went into Mew such that he will be able to sponge any hit or something, or maybe he has some kind of coverage that can deal with my Empoleon. So I decided to switch out here to my Gligar, because I know for a fact he would not click any kind of ice move on my Empoleon, and he reveals the U-turn, so I guess he was scouting for my switch, and he does switch out here with the U-turn into his Mega Scizor. My Gligar not being able to break this Mega Scizor means that I have to switch out here, and I would decide to go into my Amoonguss. Reason is because I am physically defensive. I pack Rocky Helmet so that I can chip away at any kind of physical attacker, while also carrying Foul Play and HP Fire. So he actually reveals that he's Curse, which means that my Foul Play is not going to be doing as much as I would have liked. The reason is because if he was SD, Foul Play would do a lot, but because he's boosting his attack and defense, Foul Play is not going to be doing as much. So I decided to stay in though. He goes for the Bug Bite, takes some Rocky Helmet chip, and I do pack HP Fire, which is my next best option. And that didn't do as much damage as I would have liked because of the fact that he's likely Spadef, so he's going to be roosting here. My goal right now is to go for HP Fire repeatedly, chip him down to a point where he gets really low, and while he roosts, I can switch out into something like Tapu Koko, which will threaten him immediately because of the fact that I'm a Z move. So like I said here, I'm just going to keep clicking HP Fire. He's just going to go for roost repeatedly. he can't really set up and go for another curse because of the fact that if he does go for one more curse, my Amoonguss will be faster than him. So that's going to be really problematic for him, since I'll be getting off faster HP fires, and his Bug Bite, of course, will be chipping me down a lot. So as you can see, he goes for another Bug Bite while I go for the HP fire. He gets back up to full so that he can maximize his HP while, you know, damaging my Amoonguss. So now this is my perfect opportunity to switch out of Tapu Koko. Like I said, I got him nice and low so that I can threaten him out here as he goes for the roost. Now he's in a great amount of range where I can just literally click my Z move and knock him out. But I am going to predict him to want to save Scizor and switch out into something like Shaman, which can sponge an electric attack from Koko. And I go for the Calm Mind here, expecting that. So that's a really great play on my part, I feel. So I can go for the Calm Mind. I now am able to live any attack from Shaman. And I go right for the Dazzling Gleam, which, as you can see, it is a 2-hit KO on Shaman. So he goes for the Earth Power. And the damage is very offensive. He's Life Orb, so definitely nice that we Calm Minded there so that we can live the hit. And we do knock out Shaman. So Koko versus Shaman. Koko being able to knock that out 1v1. And he's going to be copying me with this Ditto here. And now it's kind of me trying to find out what he is now at this point. Like, he could be his Choice Scarf. He could be his Quick Claw set again. He goes to the Dazzling Gleam and he does go first. So I'm going to play this in my mind such that he is Choice Scarf. So I'm going to believe he's Choice Scarf here, and that he's not some set that he was like not locked in or anything, and he won a Speed Tie. So I'm going to go into Amoonguss either way because of the fact that I can sponge a T-Bolt, I can sponge a Dazzling Gleam, and he does switch out here, leading me to believe that he probably was locked into Dazzling Gleam. I'm going to actually double out, predicting his switch out of Koko into his Mew and go to my Mega Pinsir, and I can Mega Evolve here. And I want to just go ahead and straight up attack something right now, and I did expect his Mew to come out, which means I Mega Evolve. However, he's actually Scarfed Ancient Power, so I did not really expect that. I thought the double was pretty smart into Pinsir so that I could try to knock out something or do a lot of damage to Mew. But because he's Scarfed, I can actually go Hoopa Unbound here, which is Trick Room, and because I know for a fact he's locked into Ancient Power, I can go for the Trick Room right now. And I am Brave Nature with 0 speed, so I'm thinking to myself that I can actually just go ahead and knock this out. And he goes for a Bullet Punch, leading me to believe that he actually might have been faster than my Hoopa. So I'm going to go for the Fire Punch here and just go ahead and knock out this Mega Scizor, which is so nice. And I got like 3 turns left to Trick Room at this point. And Hyperspace Fury runs through his team. It's so good versus him. He goes into his own Hoopa, or his Ditto, which copies into my Hoopa, so that he can figure out what my moveset is, and I can just go for a Hyperspace Fury and knock out the Ditto. There are 2 turns left to Trick Room, and he has 3 Pokemon left. So it's about him preserving the last Mon that he thinks can do well, or the most work versus my team. So he decides to sack his Mew, go into his Mew and sack it off. I can go for the Hyperspace Fury once again, knock it out, and now at this point he has his Archeops and his Blacephalon left. So he decides that he's going to go into sack Archeops here. And that's awesome because he only has a Blacephalon left at this point. And I can go ahead and I knock this Archeops out with the Hyperspace Fury. So Trick Room Hoopa Unbound put in so much work. Good lord. It just knocked out like 4 Pokemon here after the Trick Room. So we really planned this out really well with the prep and just our maneuvers. So his last mon is Blacephalon, and he goes for a Flame Charge. And I'm like, okay, wait a second. Flame Charge Blacephalon, that might be a bit problematic depending on what his moves are. So he gets a Beast Boost here, so he's +1 special attack. I go into my Baby Chimp, which is my Gligar, of course. I have some Spadef investment. I know that I can take any hit from a +1 Blacephalon except for a Mind Blown. But he goes for the Mind Blown and knocks me out, which is actually amazing because of the fact that I have right here my boy Empoleon. I'm going to bring him out right now. And the last Mon to win this game, best Defogger, hit him up with the Aqua Jet, knock out Blacephalon, and we win this game. We win this game 2-0. Nice and clean game. Good game to my boy Gym Leader Gio. GG, it is Emvee. And we are moving on to the semifinals, guys. We are moving on to semifinals. That was such a solid game. It was such a fun game, too. Like, I really, really am happy that Trick Room Hoopa Unbound put in work. We brought the Trick House to the quarterfinals, and we pulled it off with Trick Room Hoopa Unbound. I'm really happy about that. But I really hope you all enjoyed this match. This was such a fun game. Like, literally all my games versus Gio have been so much fun. He brings a lot of cool stuff. If I didn't have Aqua Jet on my Empoleon, he probably would have just counter swept me right there, I think, because unless of course +2 Flamethrower or Shadow Ball or something, because I think he said that I think he said he had Flamethrower when I talked to him. That was his other coverage move. He had like Mind Blow and Flamethrower, and then Shadow Ball and Flame Charge, I think is what he had. But if that move, if like +2 didn't knock out Empoleon, we still would have won anyways. But the Aqua Jet tech came through in the end there. If I didn't have it, it would have been much more difficult. I went Gligar firstly because I was Eevee to live, like any kind of +1 fire attack besides Mind Blown. Mind Blow was the only thing that would knock out my Gligar, which was Eviolite with some Spidef EV. So if he had gone for Mind Blown though, that was my plan, to bait out the Mind Blown so that Empoleon could pick him off with an Aqua Jet. And it worked phenomenally, And that Scarf Mew was actually such a blessing in disguise, because even though our Pinsir got blown back, it gave us the opportunity to set up with Hoopa Unbound the Trick Room. So really happy about that. Really happy Trick Room worked, because I wanted to bring it one time this season, a Trick Room Hoopa Unbound or some kind of Trick Room, so that we can you know, symbolize the Trick House, and we did it. So we did it, guys. We made it to semifinals, top 4. So our next opponent is going to be either Jolt or Lars. Whoever wins that game, I haven't checked the score yet, and you know, hopefully we can win that game as well. But let me know what you guys think, of course. Always looking forward to hearing from you all in the comments. I'm really excited to hopefully try to make it to finals and try to win finals, but let's see if we can do that one step at a time, of course. One step at a time. And yeah, good game to my boy Gio. Great run, of course. He played really well. Overall, I think the season was really good for him. I think he's learning a lot now, and probably it's probably gonna draft some cool stuff. I know for a fact he's not drafting Mega Sizzler ever again because of all those HP fires that we've done versus him. But yeah, great game, my friend, and looking forward to playing you again next season. So that's gonna be it from me. I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.